Hello, you degenerates. My name is Dip. Welcome to a tier list video. I'm going to break down my opinion on some of these Awakers and just give my overall thoughts on them. So first, let's start with the GOAT. Where's Tweel? Tweel's right here. S tier. If there was a S plus 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 tier, she would go in that. She's the best Awaker in the game, in my humble opinion. Key enlightenments are E1, E2, and Overexalt. Overexalt is ideal. A core, you want E2. E1 is viable all around, but really for A core, you want E2 or Overexalt. She's a great unit, does great things, big damage, big numbers. We all love that. I'm gonna go quick and fast here. Um, Next we'll do the other main Awaker, which is Jellet. S tier, easy S tier. She does big numbers as long as you set up her turns correctly. That is the most important thing with her. You need to set your turns up with her. If you do that, easy S tier Awaker, does big numbers. And I will go in order. Bias, A tier. She works really well with Jellet. Her best synergy is with Jellet. I think easily for that reason, and some of the other characters she can do pretty nutty things with by copying two of their cards. Easy A tier. Salve, B tier. Good DPS, but he lacks the things that make him meta. Great AoE damage unit, but again, we're looking for big numbers, and he cannot pump out the same numbers that Tawil and Jellet do. Aegis, where would I put her? B tier. She also synergizes very well with Jellet, Yuvash, pretty much any Karo character that does damage, because she can petrify, which means she stuns the enemies for one turn. That is very good if you're trying to set up a turn with Jellet. I think easily for that reason she is a B tier. She would be C, but I do use her a lot, so considering my usage, she will be B tier. Sorrel, D tier. I've never used this character, so maybe my opinion is skewed. I don't think she's that good. She has to be level 90 and plus 12 for her to do really anything considerable. Hellet, D tier. This is the base version of Jellet. She doesn't do much. Really kind of useless. Agrippa, C tier. More useful than the two below her. For that reason alone, she is C tier. Yuvash. This is a bit controversial here. If you get him Overexalt, he is a good Karo DPS. He can do big numbers. But again, he's lacking that factor that makes him anywhere higher than a B tier. He is good. You need crit rate on him to be good. You need crit damage on him to be good. For those factors alone, and considering you need Overexalt, B tier. But he can pump out some numbers. I wish more people used him. Lei, D tier. That's all I'm saying. Faint, C tier. She's good in like a select few teams because she builds death resist. For her being somewhat useful, she is C tier. Ramona, base Ramona, B tier. Why? You could make a case that she could go B plus, but there is no B plus, so therefore she is B tier. Off of the sole reason that her Exalt can copy a card. This is good if you don't have a Riker for Tawil, or you don't have a G Ramona for Tawil. You can generate another base wings to get your setup a little better. For that reason alone, she is B tier. G Ramona, very niche, but works with Tawil. She's a budget Riker. I think that is viable for B tier. Maybe my opinions are a little skewed. Maybe not everyone agrees with me. That is fine. I'm going to just put her there. G-Doll. Actually, let's bump her up. I'm going to tell you why. I think she's S tier off the single fact that she is the best battery in the game. You can make an argument maybe Winkwiz because she gives a single target more aliens. But I say overall, The battery that G-Doll provides, the vulnerable, the strength gain, the weakness. She's just very versatile, and I do think she is S tier because you can slot her into a number of teams, have a really good battery, but she does require overexalt. That is the only argument I can really bring into bumping her down. But to me, there are only three S tier Awakers, and that is these three at the top. Ogi, one of my favorite characters in the game. I would put him A tier, but then people would call this tier list utter dog shit. His strength that he can give you, his shield that he can give you, his vulnerable, he is a lovely kit. I really enjoy it. I love playing with him. I throw him in some of my Twill teams, and I slot him into other teams like with Daffodil. It's beautiful. The damage you can get is really good from him. Not gonna say much there. She's fucking dog shit. Riker, B tier. He can search cards just like G Ramona, but he is the OG G Ramona. He is the better version of her. So I think he should be above her. So I will slot him a little higher in the B tier. I'll try to organize it on who I think's better. Something like this. That's a little better. And we'll organize it. 24. A tier. Easy A tier. Would be S, but she lacks certain things. Overexalt, really good. Really, really good. You don't need it, but it's really, really good. Her Overexalt allows you to have extra damage because the next card is played 4 times. It plays the base time and then 3 extra times. This is really good with a Ramona because you can copy a card for free. You get her 3 costs when you have her Overexalt from Ramona Exalt, and you do big numbers. I really like that. I have her overexalted. I would put her S tier, but again, she's lacking certain things that would make her S tier. Very, very good though. E1, E3, doesn't matter. Still slaps like a beast. Does big poison damage. Only in A core though. That is the deciding factor of where I put her. If she was more useful in other rooms, it would be a different case. She would be a S tier, but only because she's really only performing the best in A core. Nautila, where would I put her? B tier. Again, a lot of these Awakers are going to go in B tier. Bump her up a little bit. Why? She does great shielding. She acts as a budget version of G-Doll or Winkle with her card that gives alienness to another character. So it's a budget battery option, really. Good counter, good shielding, decent battery. That's all I can say. She's a B tier. Not gonna say much there. Not gonna say much there. Lily, C tier. Doesn't do a whole lot. She's only good when she's built up, so C tier. Not gonna say much there. Karen, C tier, but top of C tier. Why? She's only viable in a few teams, mainly Mono Chaos Twill. But she's so good in that team, I have to put her above D tier. If it wasn't for that, she would be a D tier for sure. Not gonna say much there. Daffodil. Again, it's another Uvosh situation. She's only good when put in a team with certain people. To me, at least. I have not played with her much, but what I have played with her, I had to enable her through a battery and feed her alienness to stack her counter cards. That worked really well, I will say that, against a multi-attacking boss. But for that reason, she is lacking things that make her a key DPS. So she is B tier. Tinkt, C tier, not gonna say much there. Wanda, also C tier, was really good back in the day. Kind of fell off. Still has her uses, so I'm gonna put her C tier. Winkle, Winkle, Winkle. We'll put her B tier. Not gonna elaborate much on that. She's a good battery. That's about it. She is the single best. She's the only character that gives as much alienness to a single target in the game. Like, she is the best option for that. So you want to run her with Daff, Yuvosh, stuff like that. People that need alienness bad. Orla, A tier. Off of the only reason is going to be because of her happiness effect. Very, very, very good. And she does decent strength gain. But it's mainly for that happiness effect. We're going to put her in A tier. Jenkins, easy B tier. Great early game DPS. Great mid game DPS. I haven't used him much in the late game, so I don't have much opinions there. I mainly use Tawil and Jellet in 24. That's why my opinions are a little stronger with them. But again, easy B tier. Erica D tier. Cassia D tier. Not much uses there. I haven't used them much, so bear with me here. Caster, B tier, has his uses, has his little niche. Not much to say, haven't used him a lot. Hamlin, A tier, easy A tier. Best to wheel support in the game, has his uses in other teams. Very great, very, very great character overall. I will say he's the best draw character to me, at least, because he generates so much arithmetica. And his exalt, then whatever card he picks, you double play. I find that to be very huge within certain teams where you really want to double play a card, i.e. Tawil, for example. So he has a lot of use. Clem, have not used her much. Don't know much about her. I know she's good with Jellet. Has her uses. C tier. She could be bumped up in the future. Maybe when I get my hands on one, we'll see what we can do. Tulu, C tier. Use them early game. Use them a little bit mid game. Not much to say. Murphy, B tier. Only for her exalt. Her exalt is very good. It reduces damage. Anything that can reduce damage, I'm going to rate highly. Because late game, you take a lot of damage. She's still used anywhere in content. She's a viable character, and that's what makes her B tier. Barrows, C tier. Only for her search ability. From her exalt. Not much use otherwise. Caucus, A tier. Great. Fuck great. Amazing counter builder. Amazing. Great shielder. He applies vulnerable and dispels weakness with his exalt. Off that reason alone, we're going A tier. Any character that can dispel weakness is highly rated to me. Arita, good DPS if you build her properly and get her enlightens. Otherwise, dog shit. Goliath, B tier. Great with 24. Not much to say there. Also, decent AoE damage if you have his overexalt. But great strength builder. Great strength builder. Off that reason alone, B tier. Great with 24. Miriam, decent battery. Decent poison applier. Good with 24. B tier. Sangha, D tier. Would see more usage, but her cards cost too much. That is the problem that we run into. But great shielder if you're lacking options, and decent burster early to mid game, depending on your enlightens with her. Off that reason alone, we're going C tier. Celeste, maybe a controversial play because she is decent with Jellet. She's a decent healer. She gives arithmetica, but we're going D tier. Not much usage. I can't say much on her. Really D tier. Corpo, solid A tier. Great with 24. Decent with Tawil. And a tentacle team, she is a beast. Her overexalt demolishes. Her tentacle generation is amazing. Very, very good character. Especially with 24. Especially with 24. Ideal teams would be, for example, 24, Corpo, Ramona, and a G-Doll. That would be very nice if you have some overexalts in there. Especially 24 overexalt. But I'm not going to ramble too much. This is just a humble tier list. Maybe some of you agree, maybe some of you don't. We'll see. Please leave your opinions in the comments, and I will be dropping some more videos very, very soon. Thank you for watching.